All right, everybody, as promised. All right, this is part two. I told everybody I'd go live again once an hour's been up, so it's I think about 6 more minutes. Actually, I think it's ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Okay, and we are going to go ahead and you'll be able to see what we got going on here. So as you can see, the dough did rise. It rised up. So now we're at to beat it back down. So we're gonna get it out of there. Woo! All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this big old thing of dough. We're gonna go ahead and beat it back down. Okay. And then I'm actually going to put it in the bread containers that we're going to put in the oven, but I got to let it rise again for another, well, probably about another 30 minutes. I'll let it rise up. Now, most people don't do it that much, but I like to have a bigger roll. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is I'm going to kind of show you how I'm going to do the cinnamon part. This is kind of a difference on how I did it, but you got to really get this down again, okay? So in other words, you want to get it down again. To keep so that the yeast, once again, the yeast wants to get bigger and bigger. So the carbon monoxide within the yeast keeps releasing, and it's going to keep growing that. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. Okay, we're going to cut it in half. And we're going to put them in here. But I'm also going to... So, when I cut the bread, it's going to be a little different this time. So, I need this. We'll put the bread containers right here. Got to put some oil inside the bread containers, and then we're going to let it raise up again. But this time I have to do it a little bit differently. Because I have to add the cinnamon to it, which should be alright if I do it the right way. So I'll flatten it down. Okay, so if I do this right, that one will be next. Then I have it in this thing here because this was the perfect type of container for what I'm working with. I'm going to roll it that way. Okay. Now you don't want the sugar touching the container, and you don't want it on the outside of the bread, okay? And there's a reason for that. Because the sugar will burn if you're not careful. So now I'm going to make one line. Sorry, cinnamon and sugar and anything else that you wanted to add to it. So this here should be okay. Remember, every bread is different. There we go. There we are. I'm going to put it in here. And then it'll rise up. I'm going to do the other one now. Give me a second. There we are. So now we're going to do the second one, which is right here. So, beat it down again. Treat it really good. Beat it down, beat it down, beat it down. I use the palm. Kind of like martial arts, you use the palm. Get this one, the one I didn't have out as far. Okay. Just fold it in itself. Good stuff. Okay. this shut. There we go. We're gonna push it together like that. There we are. Can work again. There we go. This one's gonna be a little bit different because I kind of got it not where I wanted it, but that's okay. Hopefully when it grows, it's a grower, not a shower. I'm a grower, not a shower. Okay. All right. There we are. Okay, got that. Yeah, I can see your comments. Encourage your viewers. Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm watching. I can see it. All right, get that oil spread out down there a little bit. Okay. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do now is put that cloth back on. Let me get the cloth warm again. Sorry, but it got to keep everything warm. Let me get the hot water going. So, basically, this is the cinnamon part. And I'm going to let this rise for about 30 minutes. It won't get as big as we think because there is sugar in it. But this is my cinnamon bread part, okay? I think I'm going to put a little cinnamon on top of it. Okay. Alright, now, nice hot. To make the yeast comfortable, I always say you're sending the yeast to a sauna. You send it to a day treatment, you're giving them a massage, and now you're giving the yeast a nice massage treatment. But you also don't want water getting in with it. So, let me get my cloth here. So make sure it's hot, but also make sure it doesn't have extra water in it. Okay. And then we'll put these back, and we're going to let them sit for a few minutes so you guys can see them now. And this is the cinnamon part. Okay. So, take this like that. Put it over top of it. And then we're going to take it in here. Alright. Alright, so if everybody bears with me, you'll be able to, I'll do the final when it's time. Those I'll let sit for 30 minutes. Let me reset my clock here. So if you join us in 30 minutes, we'll be ready to go. Okay? So, we'll get this all done, out of the way. And make sure you clean up your area really well. In case you want to know what I put down, I just put down ammonia. And then I'm going to clean really well after I'm done. But to get it all done and everything else. So, hey Noah, hey Aiden, Ernest, Violet, how you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Alright, I'll see everybody in about 30 to 45 minutes, okay? Talk to everybody in just a few minutes.